Hello Dodgers Nation. Welcome back to the Dodgers Insider, your go-to home for all things Blue Crew. If you love trade buzz, rumors, and the front office's next big move, then this one's for you. Because today, we're diving into 3 trade ideas that could shake up the Dodgers roster heading into the second half of the season. A former Yankees veteran, a flame-throwing reliever, and a struggling power bat, all on the radar. And yes, some of these names might surprise you. So buckle up, let's get right into it. Let's start with Update 1. The Lane Thomas trade idea that has everyone talking. Now, on the surface, this may seem like a head-scratcher. Thomas, who slugged 28 home runs and brought in $8 million last season, was considered one of the most valuable bats on the market at last year's deadline. But fast forward to today, and things aren't looking so hot. After being traded from the Nationals to the Guardians, Thomas just hasn't found his rhythm. He hit a mere 209 in the second half of last year and has completely flatlined this season, batting 156 with 0 home runs in just 13 games. On top of that, he's been sidelined for over a month due to injury. So why, you might ask, would the Dodgers even consider going after a struggling outfielder? Well, here's the twist. Jason Frey of Dodgers Nation argues that this might be the perfect low-risk, high-upside deal. Thomas is in the final year of his contract, and the Guardians, notorious for avoiding long-term financial commitments, may not be interested in bringing him back. That means the Dodgers could swoop in and buy low. Think about it. Thomas has shown power before, and if there's any team that believes it can unlock a player's potential, it's the Dodgers. Of course, this is a gamble. His OPS plus this season sits at a concerning 6. Yes, you heard that right. Just 6. But this could be a classic Andrew Friedman reclamation project. And with outfield depth always in demand, it's the kind of stealth move that might not look exciting now, but could pay dividends by October. Now on to Update 2, a trade idea that targets bullpen reinforcements, and this one feels more like the Dodgers style. We're talking about Gregory Soto, the hard-throwing lefty currently stuck on the struggling Baltimore Orioles. With a 4.27 career ERA and flashes of brilliance mixed with inconsistency, Soto's been a bit of an enigma in recent years. But here's what makes him intriguing. When he's on, he's electric. And the Dodgers are no strangers to taking on bullpen projects and turning them into postseason weapons. Just think about Michael Kopech last year, a guy who was considered an afterthought by many and ended up making a real impact. The Orioles are already buried in the AL East, sitting a brutal 12 games behind the Yankees and holding a 15-31 record. That makes them prime sellers at the deadline, and Soto, also a pending free agent, could be available for a reasonable price. In fact, Frey suggests the Dodgers wouldn't need to give up much to acquire him. And it's true. The Dodgers don't typically splurge on relievers mid-season. But in a year where the pitching staff has been hit with injuries, having a lefty with swing and miss stuff could make all the difference, especially when October rolls around and every out counts. Now let's shift to Update 3, a trade idea involving a familiar name from the Bronx, Isiah Kiner-Falefa. Once a reliable utility man for the Yankees, IKF is now with the Pittsburgh Pirates, who are expected to be sellers at this year's deadline. He might not be the flashiest option on the market, but his versatility makes him a very Dodgers kind of target. As Jason Frey explains, Kiner-Falefa fits exactly the type of player Andrew Friedman loves. He can play shortstop, third base, second, and even the outfield if needed. In fact, he won a Gold Glove in 2020 and has long been praised for his defensive prowess. The cherry on top? He rarely strikes out, a trait the Dodgers deeply value in high-pressure, late-inning situations. His offensive production has always been modest, but for a team like the Dodgers, it's not always about power at every position. If IKF can give the Dodgers a 90-plus OPS plus while offering solid defense and lineup flexibility, that's a win, especially for the kind of low-cost return the Pirates would likely accept. Think about it. Down the stretch, when injuries pile up and matchups become everything, having a player like Kiner-Falefa on your bench or plugging a defensive gap could quietly become a game-changing piece. So, let's break it all down. Lane Thomas is the classic bounce-back candidate. Low risk, possible high reward if he regains his power stroke. Gregory Soto offers bullpen depth with upside and postseason potential. And Isiah Kiner-Falefa is the utility man who might not turn heads but fits the Dodgers' style of smart, efficient roster building. Each move, in its own way, represents the Dodgers' ability to think differently, to find value on the margins, rehabilitate talent, and keep building a roster that's built not just for the regular season, but for October glory. The trade deadline may still be a few weeks away, but the wheels are already turning. And with Los Angeles currently sitting atop the National League West, despite the injuries, despite the inconsistencies, the time to push for reinforcements is now. That's it for today's video here on the Dodgers Insider. What do you think? Should the Dodgers go after Lane Thomas despite his slump? Is Gregory Soto worth a bullpen gamble? And can IKF really help in the postseason? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more Dodgers updates, trade rumors, and everything in between. Until next time, stay locked in and go Dodgers.